it's time to finally reveal the new entrance to the spaghetti bowl. All right, now I got full power on right now, as we can see over here. If we can, Ajax, see he's lit up with his green. Means we got full power everywhere. The old ice yard is lit. Okay, down the tracks we all lit, and I got some stuff staged and ready to do this. And what we got to do here is give this guy a test. Now I've tested a little bit, and I have found some problems and stuff. But I want to tell you, one of the last things that I do after I've installed something like this, and this is a special one we'll look over in a second, is I take the sanding sponge, I sand the top of the rails, and then I take my finger and put a little ox guard on it, and I wipe the rails. Now, that means that they will not need to be cleaned for years. Heading into the spaghetti bowl yard, which as you know is one piece, I haven't cleaned that thing in years, and there's no reason to. And definitely I found out today that there is not, that spaghetti bowl yard, the rails are perfect, despite being several years since they've been even touched. Now, we got to check. Let's check this guy and see how he works out. I did determine that several locomotives that I checked already have actual locomotive problems, and one of them is going to be this one we're going to bring up first. We're going to bring Big Giant along with the FP45 5454. Those two are super powerful, and they're going to bring in the ridiculously heavy scrapping gons, and we are going to put them on track 4. Let's see if we're switched for track 4. Yep, switched. Okay, so let's bring them in. Now here's the thing. 5454 needs some maintenance because he's got a power pickup problem. We may not see it right here, going right through the switch, and on the track they go. There's a spot about right there where 5454 will lose power if we try to back out again. And we are going to try that in a second here, and we're going to find out. I have checked everything, and the only thing I can come up with is that guy, he's got some kind of a power pickup problem, because he should stall out right about here. Now this scrapping train is so heavy that sometimes it can pull locomotives right off the track. These two guys are really super powerful, so about right here, he should stop pretty quick. Yep, right there. Okay, now Giant still turning, but our 5454 has lost power. One of these trucks, or one side or something, there's something wrong with the power. If we just move him about like that, I think should work again. Yeah, he does. And these guys are strong enough to take the scrapping train out of here. So that's a good indication that 5454, we need to look at his power pickup, because I've already tested that spot right there with the multimeter. There are no orphaned rails. There's nothing wrong with it. What could be wrong is that one of his wires that picks up power probably is unsoldered. And then that just happens. Alright, so now who we're going to check next? Dozer. Dozer's ready over there. And Dozer, as you know, and he's coming in from track 6. And track 6 is one of the toughest ones to get through, because it's got to go through this incredibly complicated S-curve business stuff here. And let's see if Dozer does the thing. He's headed forwards. That means he should be going that way. Okay, we're going to bring him this way. And we're going to bring Dozer in. He'll come down here. And Dozer's going to come in. He's going to go. Is he going to make it? He made it with no trouble whatsoever. Remember, Dozer has fully scratch-built geared towers and everything. It's completely everything scratch-built, and he can make it through the new switch. Doesn't derail, and then makes it through the most difficult part of the spaghetti bowl, which is getting into track 6. Alright, so Dozer is, I'd consider him good to go. If he can go that fast. With his totally, completely scratch-built trucks, Dozer's coming in. Alright, we're going to shut off his work lights. Alright, there. Because those work lights are blindingly blinding. Okay, then. Alright, now let's check out, let's go ahead and let's switch this guy, and let's bring in the pair of Trainmasters. They're going to run across it straight. So obviously we don't really have a problem with them running across straight. They're not really speed matched. No, they are definitely not speed matched, but we can work on that later. We're going to bring them through. Alright, now let's switch it into the yard. Let's bring them in on track number 3. 3 is a tough one. 3 is a really tough track to get into, because 3 has got that little curve right there. And let's bring them in track 3. Let's see how they do. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and reverse them, and let's bring them in. We're bringing them in slow. See if we can detect a derailment. Oh no, they make that look easy. The spaghetti bowl yard is pretty good, but it does have some spots that need some maintenance. Yeah, they don't have any problem. All right, let's bring them in so you can see, and let's park them on that track. Here we go. Let's zoom. All right, let's bring them in through the new switch. Here we come. We're gonna go in track 3. And track, look at that. Look, those handrails are all bent to crap on 2401. But they made it on to probably the toughest track to switch on to. They're in. All right. So who do we got left? Well, you know, it would not be complete unless we brought in Ferdinand and Mouse. I would do Atlas, but I already did him and I hadn't put him back. And the only reason is I'm not doing Atlas is because the switch was built with that DD40 truck that we already seen. But let's bring in Ferdinand and Mouse. They're over there somewhere. They're waiting. They are awaiting their turn. So they're going to be coming around. All right, come on, you guys. Let's go. What's going on over here? What are you guys doing? Okay, so we did not select Ferdinand Mouse properly. So let's release him. Let's select him again. Select Mouse as the front, and let's select Ferdinand as the rear. Okay, now let's go. Here they come. Here they come around. Alright, let's hold them up right there. Now let's make sure they're switched. Okay. Ready? 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 Okay, and here they go. They're going to come around. Ferdinand and Mouse, the two best friends. No problem at all. So what we need to do is bring them back. They gonna make it through back? Yeah, they do. Oh yeah, and they gotta do that little S turn. Let's see it again. Right through the new switch, no trouble. Let's bring them back and put them back. Alright, we'll let them guys head down there. Alright, so let's take a look at the switch then. Now that we got it, let's take a look at what we got. Alright, so let's talk about Orphan Rails for a sec. Alright, here's the new guy. And remember, we used a number 5 template, and then we worked top down, and we made this rail and this rail custom, and then we made this rail at the very end, we made that custom. And then we just hand switch. And I can fill in these spots with some ties in a while. It's coded in Oxguard. All the gaps have been checked. Everything's good to go. That's about all there is to it. The Orphan Rails are definitely these two right here. They are wired. Now this one has plastic rail joiners on everywhere, because there's an on-off switch for this particular spot only that cuts off power just to that. That means plastic rail joiners everywhere. So we got to make sure this thing is wired properly, so that when it's turned on, there's power on every rail, everywhere. The frog isolated, everything good to go. Covered in Oxguard, and then we take our acetone and we go over the plastic rail joiner joints, because we do not want them to get coated in Oxguard and make that conductive. We want that to stay a gap. Now we could have just used ties and made a gap, but for something like this, I still think plastic rail joiners are the way to go. But there it is. I'm going to call it and say the new spaghetti bowl yard throat switch is good to go. It's looking good. It's working good. It did identify a couple locomotives that need some maintenance, but other than that, it's good to go. And I'm going to call this a success. Okay, so next thing up is we're going to do another locomotive, and then we don't know what track we're going to do next, but we're going to do another locomotive while we're thinking about it.